As she passed through the door, Ethan followed standard procedure. "Ma'am, your access card, please." Amanda stopped. She looked Ethan up and down from his shoes to his face. "Seriously?" she said with a cold tone. "Do you know who I am?" Ethan remained calm. "It's just a security procedure, ma'am." Amanda let out a quiet scoff and handed over the card roughly. After the card was returned, Amanda stayed where she was. "You know," she said, crossing her arms, "someone like you should know your place. Don't act important just because you're standing at the door. What happened after this really changed everything." That morning, Glass River Tower, New York was as busy as ever. Employees in suits walked briskly through the lobby, the sound of high heels echoing across the marble floor. At the front entrance stood a young security guard, 28 years old. His name was Ethan Parker. His uniform was neat, his posture calm, his eyes sharp yet humble. He didn't talk much, working the morning shift. He greeted everyone politely, even though very few truly noticed him. "Good morning, sir." "Good morning, ma'am." Most people responded with a quick nod. Some didn't even look at him. Around 8:30 a.m., a woman entered with confident steps. Blonde hair perfectly styled, an expensive business suit, a beautiful face with a cold expression. She was Amanda Blake, the new operations manager, known for being highly demanding and arrogant. As she passed through the entrance, Ethan followed standard procedure. "Ma'am, your access card, please." Amanda stopped. She looked Ethan up and down from his shoes to his face. "Seriously?" she said coldly. "Do you know who I am?" Ethan stayed calm. "It's just a security procedure, ma'am." Amanda scoffed softly and handed over her card roughly. After the card was returned, she remained standing there. "You know," she said, crossing her arms, "someone like you should know your place. Don't act important just because you're standing at the door." A few employees behind them overheard the exchange. Some smirked. Others pretended to be busy on their phones. Ethan paused for a moment. He lowered his head slightly and spoke quietly. "I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable, ma'am." Amanda smiled with satisfaction. "Good, remember that." She walked away without looking back. Ethan returned to his position. His face remained calm, but something felt heavy inside his chest. Not because of the insult, but because of how easily people judged others based on a uniform. What no one knew was that inside his inner jacket pocket was a different company ID. And that today, Ethan wasn't just there to work as a security guard. He was there to see firsthand how his company treated those at the bottom. And Amanda Blake had just made the biggest mistake of her career. By midday, the executive floor of Glass River Tower felt tense. All managers were summoned to an emergency meeting in the main boardroom. No explanation was given, only a short message in the internal email. "Mandatory meeting, CEO attendance required." Amanda Blake sat in the front seat. Her hair was perfect, her professional smile firmly in place. This was her chance to impress the top executive she had never met in person. The boardroom door opened. Everyone stood up, but the man who entered froze the entire room. He wore a simple black suit. His posture was firm, his expression calm. It was Ethan Parker, the security guard from that morning. Amanda's eyes widened. Her face turned pale. Her hands trembled on the table. Ethan walked to the front, placed a folder on the table, and looked around the room. "Good afternoon. My name is Ethan Parker," he said calmly. "I am the founder and CEO of Glass River Group." Silence filled the room. No one dared to breathe. Ethan continued. "For the past 3 months, I have been working anonymously in entry-level positions. Today, I stood at the front door as a security guard." His eyes stopped on Amanda. "Not to test security," he said quietly, "but to test character." Amanda stood up suddenly. "Mr. Parker, I'm sorry. I didn't know." Ethan raised his hand. "That's exactly the problem. You didn't know." He opened the folder briefly, then closed it. "I'm not angry," he said, "but I am disappointed. This company was built on one principle: respect regardless of position." Tears formed in Amanda's eyes. "A person fit to lead," Ethan continued, "is someone who shows respect even when there is nothing to gain." He looked at her one last time. "Today is your last day as a manager at Glass River." Amanda slowly sat down, completely broken by the realization. Ethan then turned to everyone else. "Let this be a reminder," he said firmly. "Uniforms can change, titles can disappear, but how you treat people will always define who you are." The meeting ended. That afternoon, Ethan returned to the front entrance. He removed the security uniform and put on his suit. Some employees lowered their heads in shame as they passed him. Ethan simply smiled, because to him true victory was not power, but when someone finally learns to be human.